Hello guys, today we gonna do makeup and talk about how I moved to London from Russia. If you're interested, please keep watching. I will apply my makeup, and if you're interested in something, everything will be down in the description section below. And keep in mind, I have my mirror here, so I will be looking there while I'm doing my makeup. Just keep it in mind, so I won't be able to look straight into the camera all the way around. So my skin, as you can see, clean and prepped. So let's put on a primer and let's start from the beginning. How I even decided to move to London, what pushed me to do so, and how I did it. So I use my Ren, my primer. It's all started when I was 16. I just started my uni. I don't know how about other countries, but in Russia we used to have this program for America. It was called Work and Travel. So basically where you can travel around America and work on money, right? For Europe, as far as I knew at that moment, there were programs as you go for a month or 2 weeks and learn English. But keep in mind that you learning English is really controversial due to the fact that you are coming with a group of Russian people and all of you going to the same school, and most of us ended up in the same groups as we didn't really speak English. So keep in mind, the first time when I came, I was 16 years old and I knew only hi, bye, how are you, I want to drink, I want to eat, and that's pretty much it. So I was in a beginner group, and it's all started rolling from there. At that time, when I was in uni, my first degree was ecology. I was getting a bachelor degree in ecology, so it's like environmentalist, so the person who protects nature, cares about nature, everything is concerned about the nature and clean waters, clean airs. It's pretty much amazing, right? It sounds really great, but there is a huge but. At that time when I was studying and living in my home city, I was born and raised in the middle of the Russia, so it's not Moscow or not St. Petersburg. So if you can imagine Russia, it's huge, right? So Moscow is here and my city was here. So I've been raised and born in the regions. At that time, ecology was really popular. Okay, let's skip that part. Maybe in the future we'll come back. I have a lot of stories, yeah. So it was really popular and I started in this degree and I really didn't know what to do with my life. That's pretty much it. Foundation. So I've been doing my degree, and my father at that time really had problems with money, and he was like, oh, there is a program like that, do you want to get involved? And obviously the little I knew, and yeah, fun fact, at the age of 16 I was never abroad, so it was the first time for me to go actually abroad and see other people, see the world, see a different country. And of course I said yes, I'm coming. At that time we went to Brighton for 2 weeks. That was a cultural shock for me, obviously, as I've never seen anything. I've never seen Indian people, Chinese people, Afro-Americans, Africans, English. It doesn't matter. I've never seen anyone. Italian, Spanish, German, no one. So I've been raised and born in Russia, as I did by the age of 16. I've never seen anyone else. So it was a cultural shock, and in my mind, that seed, that little worm inside was like, I need to go, I need to come back, I need to come back, I need to do something. Overall, my first trip was really, I would say, stepping stone and point when I was like, I don't want to be in Russia anymore, I need to do something. As the time passed by, and I was obviously studying in my uni, coming on the summer holidays to England. So that was my first trip to Brighton, and last one. The following years I just went straight away to London. So imagine all of those groups of Russian people coming and learning English when you never learn English, obviously. I was just amazed by the country, and it wasn't that far from Russia, yeah. So you fly just 6, 7, 8 hours. At that time we had a direct flight, and it was really exciting, nice, cool, something different. And I was just thinking, oh, that's really nice to live here. Obviously nothing is easy, and as you may probably know, people from Russia were not European Union countries, and we never was, and we will never be. So for us, in order to get here, there are different steps how to get into the country as England. You're either immigrants with your parents, and you got lucky, and maybe you immigrated with your parents, and you were at the age of, I don't know, like 3, 4, 5, and it haven't been a problem for you. Next option, you get a work visa. What does it mean, work visa? You will be sponsored by someone, so they need to prove that they can't find someone local, that you are talent, you are a bright person who needs to work in that company. So that's a really complicated story, Then right to be visa, yeah. So you need to find someone, you will get married, and by that step you will get into the country. Obviously there are so many illegal ways to get in, and it was never considered by me for obvious reasons. And the last option was to start education again. Yes, to get into the uni and start another degree. At that time, when I was doing my ecology, as the bachelor degree in our country is 5 years, it's not 3 years how in here. So by the time I was finishing kind of my degree, and I was like, let me do language degree, right? That's a really good idea to do the language degree. Again, keep in mind, I don't know how it is nowadays. It was happening 10 years ago, more than 10 years ago. And I was like, okay, I'm doing now one bachelor degree. So in order for me to get into England, I need to know English, correct, right? And I was like, oh, that's a good idea to start another bachelor degree. But when you do another bachelor degree, it won't take you 5 years. You can do it like express version within 2 years. And it's me here, there. At age of 20, I started another degree, and I got another degree in English language as a translator from English to Russian and Russian to English. And then at that time, I used to have a boyfriend. We've been together for over 5 years, you know, all this. And that's it, we broke up. That's another video for you if you're interested. How get over the break and move on. Listen, I have so many stories. Just let me know what you want to hear next. We broke up, and there we go, me finishing my second bachelor degree with my first degree. And I was like, I can't be this no more. I need to move on. I need to do something. I can't just stuck in this city. And keep in mind, my city is not that small, but it's not big as Moscow, St. Petersburg. It's still the capital of my region, but it's not that good, if you know what I mean. And it's not like you can progress in there and develop yourself. Salaries are really low, and it's really corrupt and it's really intense. A lot of criminal situation going on, still happening, you know. And I was like, I need to do something. And at that time, my father, he was like, those are your savings for your flat. So you have a choice now. Either you buy a flat or you go abroad and do another degree. And keep in mind, that was my, again, stepping stone to get into the country. And obviously, me, yes. And I was like, I'm getting another degree. And me with my one degree in ecology, another degree in English language, and I was like, what am I supposed to do? Because I didn't like my first degree. My second degree was a joke, because learning English in somewhere else in the country where people don't even speak English, it's just nonsense. Obviously at that time I thought it's just a cool idea and everything was smooth and nice. I used to have a tutor at that time. She was teaching me English, and she was like, oh, let's maybe try you on MBA program. So MBA program, it is a master in business administration. And at that time, what I was 21, 22 when we all started the process. I was like, okay. It's like I have no clue what is MBA, what is whatever BA, you know. I was like, okay, fine. So we started the process. It was a long, stressful process. I've been enrolled onto the program, and just keep in mind, and now it's really funny, but at that time it wasn't. When you choose your university and degree from abroad, you don't really know what you're signing for. When you have your degree from abroad, it doesn't count in here. And you imagining me with my 2 bachelors, like a cool kid, yeah, because not a lot of people had 2 degrees at my age. At that time I was 22 and I already had 2 degrees. And she was like, actually, my tutor, yeah, she was like, actually, you can't do your master degree. You need to do another degree in order to get to your master. So I've been enrolled to the program, as it's called pre-master degree. It's just for foreigners who want to do master, but they have a bachelor degrees from abroad. So I came to this country, I was excited, and let's cut the long story short. My degree was a scam. It was a freaking joke. But let's focus on that situation that I wasn't interested in degree itself. I was interested in getting into the country and go from there, you know, figure out the way I want to be, what I want to do. And at that time, there was some stuff like a post-study work visa. So you had the right to stay after your degree for 2 more years to find a job. So I've done my pre-master degree, successfully finished it, and then I enrolled into master degree. That was something I feel like alienated, if it's even the word. I didn't know what the heck I was enrolled for. I didn't enjoy. I was like, what's that? All of the strategies, finances. And if you know me well, I hate math. Everything with math, it just makes me cringe. I just can't do it, you know, guys. My brain doesn't cut for this math situation. I am obsessed and still love chemistry and biology, psychology and all of these categories, but math, finance, and I'm all like, oh my god, how I'm gonna pass it. I did finish my degree with 2.2, not 2.1. I wasn't that bright student, but I didn't care, to be honest. I just needed to finish my master to get my diploma and find a job, right? That was my strategy. Along the way, when I came here, as I was emotional wreck because I just broke up with my boyfriend with whom I was for 5 years, and I was like, I need to find someone, right? I can't be alone. I'm in London. Look at me, yeah? I'm in London. I met my husband. Never thought that I will have another Russian man in my life, as I was a broken heart. That's what happened. See, never plan anything because everything will go other way around. So at that time I met my husband, we started living together, and we're like, okay, and I was like, listen, I can't be with you for another 5 years, and then what? It leads to nowhere basically, as I already experienced. I was like, we need to kind of make a decision if we're gonna be together, if you want to create a family, if you want to do, you know, all this stuff, grown-up stuff. But again, that's a story for another video. I have a lot of stuff to say about that, just cutting it short. Yeah, so yeah, while I'm doing my master, pre-master, God knows what master, we've been living together, and he proposed to me at that time, and everything was going smooth and nice, and just, you know, as I always wanted to have a family, children. And there we go, I'm in London. I have an opportunity to apply for post-study work visa, working here, just experience everything. And yeah, you know, that's just a different world. Russia and London, it's just two different things. Just, it's like Earth and Mars. That's literally how it is. So yeah, and we live together. I'm doing my master degree. I did my dissertation. I got quite, I would say, a high points for it, high percentages, over around 60. Yeah, 60 something points out of 100. Not that right again, yeah. Okay, we're doing Topaz Huda Beauty. And me, yeah. We found out that I am pregnant. Everything turned upside down, in a good and in a bad way, because at that time I was what, 20, I just turned 25, and we found out that I'm pregnant around March, April. At that point I've done my dissertation, I've got my results, and I was waiting for the graduation. I never did go, because obviously the situation has changed drastically, and I was like, oops, yeah. And I'm that person. That's another story, to be honest. If you're interested in me getting pregnant and how I did it, what I was thinking, it another story, another day, yeah. Otherwise this video will be over an hour long. So yeah, we decided that it's better for us, and for me personally, as I had so many issues with my health, and I knew that I will have so many problems. We've decided that I will go back to Russia. And keep in mind, that was the last year when you were able to apply for post-study work visa. So I was mentally prepared that I'm just giving up everything and going back, for me, in order to have a child. That's it. It was not even discussion. I didn't even apply for post-study work visa. At that time I was already 5 months pregnant, and I knew that I need to just go. Otherwise, there are some restrictions. If you're pregnant, you can't travel for a certain amount of hours and miles away. And I was like, I need just to make a move and just go. Whatever happens next, happens. That's how I was desperate to have a child in a good way. So yeah, I came back to Russia, and I was really depressed, because at that point of my life I've already been living in London for around 2 years and I don't know, 2-3 months. And obviously you get used to the style of the city, you get used to all the shops, all the bars and restaurants, overall to the way you live, and you coming back with no job waiting for you at home, with no place for you to live, and with a baby on board. At that time my husband has started bachelor degree. Yes, he's younger than me. So yeah, he started the bachelor degree, and according to the law, you cannot sponsor your family to come and be with you, because you are at the beginning of your education and all the people with bachelor's degree there weren't allowed to bring their families. So, and I was aware of it, and we've made the decision, and that's me there, back to my parents' house, miserable, like with no job, with a baby, and that's it. Yes, again, if you want to hear the story, I'm more than happy to share with you what are the difficulties I faced with actually coming back from London to Russia, how I was greeted by my family and my friends. So yeah, I had my baby, everything went smooth. My husband at that time, he was coming to see us every now and then. Obviously he missed all this baby stage, but we've been thinking that upfront, you know. We haven't been thinking, oh, you know, today's happening this, today's happening that. We've been looking into the future, what will be beneficial for us as a couple to stay alive and, you know, to move on, because at that time he was doing bachelor degree, he didn't work. That's, and again, another story. Yeah, then he finished successfully his bachelor degree, and then there was another move we did for him to start master degree, then he can bring us. So we came back to London as a dependent. Who is the dependent? Yeah, it can be your wife and your child, or your husband if you're, you know, if you're a girl who studies here or who's planning to study here and you have a husband. So then, according to the law, as we did, you have a right to bring your family. So, and we came back. Since then, jump from one visa to another one. If you are a foreigner, I think you will understand me, how difficult that is to change your visa, how expensive there is to apply for a visa, and how stressful there is, because you always have a chance to be rejected, even after applying for a visa and providing the million copies of documents and all of your background and everything, so they will check everything on you. Since then, we've been living in London, but prior to living in London, we lived a little bit in Edinburgh. That was an amazing experience, and I really did enjoy that time, and hopefully in the future we will be able to move back. So yeah, and we still work in progress. Nothing is easy, guys. If you're someone who is looking for getting into the country, that is my experience, what we've done actually, and how it's progressing. It has been more than, for my husband, it has been more than 10 years. Yes, he came here when he was 16, and I came here when I was 23, and still work in progress. But if you have this urge, come and go and do something else, and do not stuck in your city due to the fact that you were born in there. You just need to be prepared for the fears, for the obstacles which will come along the way. It does obviously change you. Maybe now by listening to me you will think, oh, it's easy, yeah, you just do this, jump from another visa to another visa, go back to home, then come back. Listen, it was a really bumpy ride, very, very stressful, and there is still complications we do experience along the way. And if you are a foreigner in the country, I understand you. And most of the time when I do speak with people who were born, for instance, in England, right, as I came here, they're not really aware of the whole process. Obviously, why should they, right? The process of getting into the country, the things you do to get into the country, the things like, you ask me, do I really need 3 degrees? No. People in here have 1 degree, or maybe even don't have them, don't have any, and still function and live nicely and merrily and wealthy, yeah? You need to keep in mind, if you're someone who tries to still get into the country, the thing is, you have to have this mindset of just going through and pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing and never stop. And you need to start early. That's the main thing. We have friends in here who came into the country in their late 30s, who came into the country because of their working situation, and they've been lucky enough, for instance, get a promotion and to get a visa and bring his family to live here based on the working. But again, can you imagine you leave everything behind as I did? I left all of my friends, all the comfortable things I used to have, and just went to nowhere. Exactly, just to nowhere. I didn't have any friends in here. I didn't have any relatives. I didn't know anyone. I just came here. I met here with my husband. So you pretty much putting yourself into a situation when you are alone, and all the problems which are happening to you at that moment, they come directly to you. There is no one to back you up. There is no parents who will, help you. You just roll on your own. So yeah, guys, that is my story, and I'm really grateful that I did it in the early stage of 20s. And I believe if it was me at the age of 30 something, I wouldn't come, because at that time you will have a stable life in your own country with your own work, family, house, flat, cars. You don't need this. Yeah. So yeah, never stop if you really desire to do something. Move countries, switch the jobs, switch the partners. I know it's complicated because we are the human beings. We really quickly get used to the comfortable things. The new things, it's always something unstable. It's something what will challenge us. But all of those challenges will help you to grow. And I'm up for all the self-growth and development, no matter what and who tells you what, even your parents, even your friends. If you feel inside of you here, if you feel like you need to move, you move, because you live only one life, guys, and you need to live it to the full. So the last step is Urban Decay. And just enjoy your life, and it is worth it. And now when I look at my daughter and she speaks English fluently, now she learns Spanish, and I'm just like, it is worth it. It's worth all of my tears, all of my fears, all of the complications along the way, all of the discomfort, everything for her to be here. Be happy, and do not fight fights which I fought when I was in Russia, because that's a really challenging place to grow in, trust me. And there we go, that's my everyday makeup. I was using the Huda Beauty Topaz eyeshadow. That's my go-to makeup in the mornings, because I've been speaking. Obviously it's not 35 minutes here in the video, but usually I will accomplish this within 20-15 minutes because I know what I'm doing. And that is my story. And if you may be inspired, or if you want to know more about my life, what I was doing in Russia, how I lived in Russia, how I was brought up in Russia, whatever you may be kind of interested in, and please let me know down in the comments below. And don't forget to like my video, it does help me a lot. And have a wonderful day. And obviously you can choose and pick your own lipstick of your own choice, and I'm not gonna apply it now because the face mask, all yes, corona situation. And thank you for your time, thank you for spending time with me. I hope you found it interesting. All the products will be linked down below. If you're still interested in all the stories, or maybe another makeup tutorial for you, I will happily do it for you. And have a wonderful day, week ahead, and be happy and merry, and do wherever you feel like doing it.